Oh boy. We are on chapter 18, and that means we're almost at the end of the volume 1 in Braille. Um, so, yep, that's exciting. Alright, let me see. I spoke to my father today, Rachel's mother says at supper. That fall took something out of him. I could hear it in his voice. He doesn't know how sick he is, but... Her voice falters. We were just lucky this time. What happens next time?
It might not happen again, Manny says. The doctor didn't say it. He didn't say it would happen positively.
It's going to happen again, Shirley says. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not even next week. But you know what the doctor said. Daddy's going to have less and less air, get weaker and weaker. And you know him. He won't stay inside. He won't give up anything. He's not saying, okay, Shirley, I'm going to be careful. Instead, it's some nonsense about Schuyler Hill. That's where Alice Farnham lives, Rachel says. Oh, well, wonderful. He's going to walk up that hill. The man is sick. He can hardly speak a whole sentence without gasping, and he's going to walk up this giant hill?
Maybe he will, Manny says. He's a determined man.
Yes, and maybe he'll fall before he ever gets there. He doesn't have to walk up a hill to fall. He could fall outside or in his apartment or in the elevator. It could happen anywhere. It could happen any time.
What she wants to do, she says, is bring Izzy into their house to live, so they can watch over him.
He can sleep in the spare bedroom. Manny, what do you think?
Rachel's father nods. I think we should do it. It'll give you peace of mind. Rachel tries to imagine Izzy sleeping on one of the two beds. She tries to imagine him eating breakfast with them and being here when she comes home from school. In the evenings, he would sit in Manny's green plaid chair facing the TV. He will deliver his opinions in his gravelly voice. He will be with them every day, every night, all the time. Then she remembers all the time means a month. 2 months at the most, 3. Rachel's mother pushes her chair away from the table. I'm going to call Daddy right now. On the phone, she says in a fast voice, Daddy, hello, I have something to talk to you about. Manny and I have decided we want you to come stay with us for a while. She gets no farther. No father, either. When she hangs up, she says, with unaccustomed sharpness, He's not sick. He's just a little short of breath. What should I make such a big fuss about? Is that the first time I ever heard of someone falling? I always make fusses. And even if he did fall again, which he is not going to do, what could we do for him when we're at work? He's got a point there, Rachel's father says. Anyway, you know what an independent man he is, Cheryl. We wouldn't want to take that away from him.
I know all that. It's wonderful that he's so independent, but right now I want him here. I can't go through every day with work with my heart in my mouth, thinking about my father falling down in the street somewhere.
Let me try him, Manny says, and he gets up and phones Izzy. But he doesn't do any better than Shirley. I'm sorry, sweetheart.
Shirley's face falls. What am I supposed to do now? I can try, Grandpa, Rachel says. Her parents look at her. What would you say? Her mother says. Rachel shrugs. I don't know. It's just, you tried him, Daddy tried him. Why not me? She's only about 20% serious. The whole thing with everyone pleading with Izzy is a contest, she thinks. Just the sort of thing Izzy enjoys. Wait, what does this say? Oh, here he is, sick, dying, and he's still got the upper hand. I I don't know what good it will do, Rachie.
I don't know what good it'll do, Rachie, her father says.
I don't either. I don't either. It's just an idea.
Silly idea. She has no influence over her grandfather.
No, try, her mother says urgently. Try. What could you lose?
So she calls her grandfather and he says, "You two, now what? Don't you people have anything else to do but call me?" Rachel plays for time.
Are you going for a walk tomorrow?
I always go for a walk, Rachel.
Where are you going to go?
Rachel, why did you call me?
Well, Grandpa, she says, and then she's inspired. I'll be over after school tomorrow. Wait for me. Wait until I come for your walk.
Wait, he says, as if he's never heard anything so absurd.
I'm going with you on your walk.
Who invited you?
Me. I invited me. Before he can protest, she adds, I'll say goodbye now. And, like a junior Izzy, she hangs up first. Rachel raps on the door. It's me, Grandpa, Rachel.
Come in.
He sits at the table by the window with a bowl of soup. The TV is on, and he's watching an interview show as he eats. He nods briefly at her. Is that some of Ma's soup? She says, just to be polite. He doesn't bother answering. She stands awkwardly in the middle of the room. Behind the table, the sun brightens, then fades. Rachel takes off her jacket, sits down on the couch. It occurs to her that if she has ever been alone with her grandfather before, she has no memory of it. Her grandfather carries his bowl to the sink. He puts on a sweater, a windbreaker, a plaid cap, looks at her and says,
"This is your mother's idea, sending you over here."
No, it wasn't. It was my idea. She follows him out the door, down the hall with its smells of frying meats and ironed clothes. From behind the doors come the sounds of radios and kids crying. Did you go out yet today, Grandpa?
I did not.
He gives her a baleful glance.
I was ordered to wait.
She opens her mouth, closes it. No surprise that her grandfather isn't taking kindly to being bullied. But isn't that what she did? Bully him? I'm coming over. You wait for me. They go down in the elevator, out into the bare little lobby. They walk slowly toward Emerson Avenue. He walks with his head a little thrust forward, looking neither to the right or the left. She adjusts her pace to his. Izzy says nothing. Neither does Rachel. There are not many people in the streets. A few kids on bikes, runners, a woman with a bag of groceries in one arm, a child dangling from the other. Grandpa, Rachel says when she can't stand the silence anymore. What did you think when I said that I was coming over?
What did I think? What did you think I thought when you... What did I think? I thought you were coming over.
It's so hard to talk to him. She tries again. Well, I never said anything like that before. It must have surprised you.
It didn't.
It didn't surprise you?
That surprises her. Figure it out. You're supposed to be smart.
I know you didn't wait for me because you love my company, she says with an awkward laugh.
Okay.
Is he agreeing with her? Why should that bother her? She knows what she said is true. He doesn't love her company, and she doesn't love his. So they're even, and they'll both be realizing this and they'll both be relieved when today is over. They pass Schuyler Hill. Izzy looks up, keeps walking. She hears his breath making a tiny wheezing sound in his chest with every intake of air. They walk past little houses and bikes in the front yards. The Greek Orthodox church with its brilliant blue cupola, more houses, a shopping mall, gas stations, the post office. Suddenly, Izzy stops and leans against a telephone pole, his forehead popping with sweat. "Grandpa?" Rachel moves nearer. If he falls, can she catch him? She has an awful vision of Izzy crashing to the ground through her hands. "Grandpa?" she says again. "Are you okay?" He doesn't answer her, doesn't look at her. He stands there, breathing in a way that makes Rachel understand breathing as something in itself, as something which some people have for free and some have to work for. After a few minutes, which seem very long to Rachel, he nods to her. Not to her, but to himself, takes off his cap and wipes his forehead with a handkerchief. He nods again and wipes his forehead. His lips are moving. "Okay," he says. She has to lean close to hear. "Okay," she says. He folds his handkerchief carefully and tucks it into his pocket. "Okay." "Should we start back?" "Not yet." They walk again. Rachel keeps looking at her grandfather. A couple of times she says, "Are you okay?" "Stop asking me that." She stops asking. She's obedient, and she hates being obedient. She hates this. If he were healthy, she wouldn't have to walk with him. She wouldn't walk with him. Why punish herself? But he's sick, and she's stuck. Every moment she's afraid he's going to fall. Once he stumbles over a crack in the sidewalk, and her hand flies out to steady him. He brushes her off. When they enter the lobby of his building, the woman with purple hair is sitting on a bench, knitting with long green needles. "Hello, Mr. Shapiro. I see you have a pretty friend visiting today." Izzy nods. "This is my watchdog," he says, and he pushes the buzzer of the elevator.